My name is Karc. I know that people here in London call me Karc, but actually the original pronunciation is Karc. So I am an abstract graffiti artist. I paint in London, though I am originally from Poland. My art is a lot of things. So definitely there is a play of color there, and I like when the colors are very vibrant, and I think they are quality and they bring value on their own. And when I think about my art, I always see, when I imagine this, I see colors and proportions, because I think proportions are also very important. Like you feel totally different. A little dot of blue, I mean I'm in blue right now, but a little bit dot of blue on black background, then you feel like a whole blue space. This is a totally different feeling. So this is how I start, and I think this is very important, like the proportions of colors. But what I also do, I try sometimes to grasp or like give a form to abstract concepts, such as like being together or change. I try to give like a physical form. It always starts with the line, but then it develops into composition. And then I see connections between shapes and how I divide like bigger shapes in composition and like make them kind of like split apart in a way that you can connect in your head this shape back together. And then I start to, the more I do games and like this sort of patterns, the more I start to see how they can reflect abstract concepts as well. I studied sculpture in Poland, so my education was very much focused on like three-dimensional way of thinking, and I think you can still see it within my abstract compositions, and like you can see that there is like this aspect of like extra dimension, let's say. I was actually sculpting like, you know, full-size sculptures of bodies, like Michelangelo type of a vibe. And I think it influenced my three-dimensional thinking in terms of the compositions that I'm making. I was later on drawing and painting portraits, but they were having elements of geometry. So there was this natural transition from elements of geometry and triangles. I was actually building like a whole pieces from triangles to switching to like just abstract. It all starts with shapes. I try to divide like simpler shapes into more complicated forms. Like sometimes when you look at my art, you can actually see, let's say, square, but it's just in many pieces, but it's a part of like the same one thing. And I play around with that. I play also, there are like patterns that I'm using. I really like to use lines, give a little bit of depth. Every single piece is like a new experiment. I think I take my inspiration from all around. I take a lot of photos. I take like screenshots even on my phone when I see colors that I really like, or like colors within some specific proportions that really like worked for me. So yes, this is how I usually think about that. I really like this book, and I think it's very valuable dictionary of color combinations. So there is a lot of amazing color palettes, but it's just about the excitement. Like recently, I was thinking that I love how bright blue looks on gray, and I definitely need to paint something with this. And it's just this excitement of like connecting it and maybe trying to search, because it's always a search for like a new quality and something slightly different that I saw so far. I think when I paint, it's like there is this feeling that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. And it makes me really, really happy. Even if the day was terrible and I would go out paint, I know the next 2 days are gonna be good.